Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Truth with Danger Doug. I'm Danger Doug. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time here, if you like what we're putting out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, to all you viewers, is we've had a mass shooting. I'm not going to touch that right now just because of the emotions that are involved, going back and forth between the left and the right. But what I would say is this. The main thing you need to look at is their signal and noise. And talking to Colonel Steve Murray, a guy I've met and I have a lot of respect for, it goes back to a lot of the things we used to see in the military. You have signal and noise. The signal is what is the things you really need to be paying attention to. What's the long game? The noise is everything off to the left and to the right that's trying to distract everybody. So for example, one of the things we're seeing that's a lot of noise is what all the uneducated people, and I like to say this because a lot of people truly are wrapped up in things that really don't matter. For example, Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard trial. That really doesn't matter, but to a lot of people out there who don't really understand things going on in the world and are wrapped up in their own narcissism, they have no idea. We just had in Davos, this is the main meat of what I'm going to talk about. In Davos, we had people, basically world elites, okay, we're going to call them, and we're going to call them elites because that's how they look at themselves, and that is able to paint the picture of corporations, banks, and politicians. All the people, if you've looked at anybody that was there, they all represent massive amounts of money or control of the money and the funding, right? That goes on everywhere in the world. In addition to that, not only do they control money, but they also control policies that are going to be implemented throughout the world. Now, Steve Bannon had on a show, and he was talking about, well, because Jack Posobiec was over there in Davos, and he was detained. And because of a lot of the pressure, Steve Bannon was saying 12 of the 13 items that the United States was submitting to the WHO, so the WHO could take control, have done what? They've been kind of put on hold, or they've been withdrawn. Actually, I would go more with they've been put on hold. These are the type of things of control where they want to hand over control of pandemics to the WHO, the World Health Organization, with the World Economic Foundation coming in on the backside. And the World Economic Foundation is going to do what? They're going to craft a world, as Klaus Schwab said, we, all of you here, talking to all the elites that were in the room, we are going to build the future, how we see it. That doesn't include you, doesn't include me. That's the vision they have. That's the arrogance and the narcissism these people have, the hate for you, okay? Once people truly understand those type of things, then maybe we'll get some people to wake up. But a lot of people that I'm seeing right now are afraid to address the elephant in the room, that there's actual people out there, like they can't wrap their heads around the true evil that's going on in the world. As I said before in a previous video, things you need to worry about is your beans, bullets, and bandages, all right? And I bring that up because Mike Adams from Natural News, he's the founder of Brighteon News, he put out a very good video with J.R. Nyquist. And J.R. Nyquist is an analyst, worked in government also back in the day, and he provided good analysis of naval capabilities, or just military capabilities, period, of Chinese forces. And in the video, what he was describing was by November 1st, somewhere between June, maybe July, all the way to November 1st, that the Chinese were possibly going to invade. Now, one of the things I would caution here is that I've had this discussion for a couple of years with people. A lot of people, some guys I served in the military with, they didn't think that was even possible, no matter what the scenario was. I think we need to look at the scenarios and look at how things were laid out from J.R. Nyquist. I had brought that up before. A friend of mine, Lieutenant Colonel Steve Murray, had brought it up years ago when he was actually at a school. Him and I had a discussion about this, and he was actually having the same discussion, but years earlier at a different location with someone else. some other military personnel, and they were very shocked at how he was able to lay out how they would be able to take U.S. military bases or be able to land on American shores. Nothing's impossible when inside the United States we've had quite a bit of corruption, and not only the corruption, but we've also had what? We've had a lot of people who have basically let the enemy within the gates. The Trojan horse is already here. We already know that there's military fighting age males that have been brought into the country. I like to call them sleeper cells, but yeah, we already know a lot of them are already here. So once you can wrap your head around that, then you have to look at what's the long-term solution. And I was watching the video. He's done 2 of them with Mr. Nyquist, Mike Adams has. One of the things I will caution people to is you can sit there and get an anxiety factor going that the Chinese are going to be invading, or maybe the Russians are going to aid them and the United States military is weakened, regardless of if any of that's ever happened. Here's some things to take into consideration. Number one, the United States has quite a few veterans. Now, that doesn't mean all of them are going to fight. There's a lot of them that are, I would like to say, there's some that are on the left. Not all military people are conservative, and trust me on that. I was in the military for over 26 years. But what I would tell you is this: if the Chinese were to invade, the thing you need to understand is, what are you going to do about it right now? The things you need to worry about right now, as we head into Memorial Day and after Memorial Day, is there's 3 things. Number one, beans, bullets, and bandages, right? Actually, it's those 3 things, I should say. Those 3 things. So your beans is your food and water. Make sure you're going and getting the food and water, or if you can, come up with storage systems for that. If it's rainwater, rain catchment systems. The food, I would personally be looking at long-term shelf storage items such as Augustin Farms, Ready Hour. You have Mountain House. There's a whole bunch of different places where you can buy some of this stuff and you can put it in storage. But I would also encourage, if you're going to buy any of this stuff, at least break open some of it and actually understand how it works, understand what it tastes like. That's one of the things a lot of people are that I've talked to. They purchase a lot of stuff, and I said, you know, have you tried any of it? Have you tried any of the recipes? Have you looked at how this stuff works? And then they give you that blank, starry-eyed stare. So, you know, you have to understand what you're buying and what you're going to use it for and how it's going to fit into your food plan. Water's water, as much as you can get, because basically most humans need at least 1 gallon of water a day. Okay. Then of course you get your bullets. Your bullets covers any type of ammunition you might have or any firearms you have to defend your family. Okay, I'm not sitting here condoning violence. What I am doing is saying, you know, you need to protect your family and be able to protect the boundaries of your property and your home. That goes without saying. Obviously, we just had what happened in Texas. There's a large debate about firearms. I really don't want to get into that debate right now, just because kids were involved. I think anytime something like that happens, it's tragic, regardless of the reasons. I just think it right now, because there's so many different conflicting stories coming out about what happened, I think it's best just to keep off that topic. And then, of course, last is bandages. So one of the things, starting tomorrow morning at 0900, which is 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, there will be a 20% off sale on medical kits. So if in the event you guys need bandages, I will be offering them. If you so choose not to purchase from our site, I would tell you, obviously there's some other sites out there you might be able to find. I would caution you going against purchasing kits that come in, it looks like they're really good. They come with like 129 pieces of stuff. I would go for the stuff that's very streamlined and is going to give you exactly what you need for a trauma situation in the event you need it. A lot of people, when they go to buy stuff, they think having more stuff is better. More stuff actually gets in the way. You want to have exactly what you need. So I'm going to break out this kit right here. This kit here is basically a bleeding controlled kit. You can put them in your cars. You can carry them on a ruck. As you can see right here, this is attached to a rucksack. It says bleeding control on it. If I was going to be in a field environment or out in the woods, I probably would not have it where I would have that patch on there. But if it's in a vehicle or something like that, I would want that, because if someone has to run to the car and you have to tell them, hey, go get the medical kit, you want them to understand what they're going to get. The kit, the two main items besides the cutting shears to cut through clothing to get to the wound quickly is a gauze bandage, and then of course a soft tourniquet. This tourniquet is actually made by TACMed Solutions. And then, like I said again, the gauze. Now the gauzes, this is a standard compressed gauze. It's hermetically sealed, and this will help with any type of wounds in the event you had to get to a hospital, or you need to stop the bleeding before you even make it to the hospital because the wound's that bad. Okay, and that's where you also would have the tourniquet come into play to try to slow it down so you can get this bandage on and try to get some clotting going on. We also offer the quick clot bandages and a bandage from TACMed that they offer, which is called the Elias, and they both have, they're just different makes, but they offer hemostatics in it. So the hemostatic actually assists the wound in clotting quicker. So those are some things we're offering this weekend. Going back to the WEF, one of the things I'm going to tell you guys is they're just rejockeying right now, and the World Health Organization, my next guess is they're probably going to be looking for another pandemic type scenario where they try to somehow get everyone locked down. You know, the biggest thing you need to understand, whether you're in your car or if you're going somewhere with your family, make sure that you are able to protect yourself, but at the same time you're able to take care of anything, any situation that's going to occur. And like I said, you know, the medical kit, whether, you know, wherever you get them, make sure you're picking something that if you have it in your vehicle, that you're gonna be able to take care of your family. So keep your head on a swivel this weekend. It's Memorial Day. Please take some time to thank a veteran. Let them know there's a lot of people out there. I know Memorial Day is sometimes kind of tough on me when I reflect back on people I've known, people that didn't come home. And you know, sometimes it's tough for a lot of veterans, and it's kind of a somber day, but it's also a day for us to spend time with our families. So please, you know, have a safe weekend. Hopefully we can get through this weekend without any more news headlines, but with the current news cycle, I think we can all see things have been spinning out of control just about every day. So I bless all of you and myself, and you know, hopefully through the Lord's strength, you guys have a good one, man. And like I said, I'll be seeing you. I'll be putting out podcasts pretty much every day. I'm going to try to keep them anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, just so we can get the information out and get to the point. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good one. Keep your head on a swivel, and remember, pay attention to the signal. And the noise is everything that's keeping you off track and not making you focus on what's important. Anyways, you guys take care, and have a safe weekend.